Championship is going to take place right now on the field. Southside Liquors, and leading it off for the Bridgeport Crush. My papers are flying all over the place.
Yeah, you can handle it, Brian.
Oh, the win Muzini. Okay, here we go. Monizi, Metke, Duddleston, Falk, DeCaro, Balestri, Tito, Lucenti, Stewart, Frugoli Mike, and Frugoli Ron.
Not to be confused with Frugoli Jeff, right?
As we are all set and underway, and these two teams earlier this morning played a semifinal ball game, and they have advanced to the championship today, and we have got a heck of a ball game. I'm Brian Hanrahan, by the way, along with Levito Squalls and Al Fitch, who's the General Supervisor of Physical Activities for the Chicago Park District, and we're very happy to have Al with us to give us the Park District viewpoint, I guess.
Thanks, Brian. This Southside Liquors team played in the championship last year. They were the Tigers coming out of Washington Park. So they were here last year and lost the game to the Budweiser Whips.
Nice play by the shortstop for Southside Liquors. Folks, you are going to see some outstanding play here, and you're going to see some double plays. You're going to see a little bit of everything. These two teams are just outstanding. Both teams didn't win. Again, their semifinals were very close ball games. I know the Crush won 4-2. I think Southside Liquors might have won like 6-1.
6-1, right.
6-1, okay. So both games were fairly close. Southside Liquors team, they are really tough. And you'll notice there is a difference in the men's versus the women's. The men, obviously, a little more power, can hit the ball a little bit longer distances. But again, that wind is blowing in, and it's going to knock that ball down. With a flat pitch, go after those every chance you get. Throw over to first base. Ooh.
Ooh, boy.
That was a high, hard throw of umpire at every base for this one because the action is so fast. That was Metke grounding out to the third baseman.
And you can see from that first play that the Tigers just the Southside team is just an outstanding team. I mean, he really whipped it. It started to sail on him a bit, though, didn't it?
Yeah, he really launched over there. That brings up Duddleston, the batter. Tom Duddleston. He is playing shortstop for this team.
This kid's one whale of a basketball player also.
See, Southside Liquors is from Washington Park, by the way. That's also where the ladies, the horse team was from.
That's correct. Bridgeport's Crush team is from McGuane Park. Probably a combination of Armour Square ball players and McGuane Park ball players.
Shot out straight up the middle, knocked down by the short center fielder. And that is our first hit of the ball game.
Or is that our first error?
Well, I think that was hit so
hard.
hard.
It was hit hard enough,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't be too hard on it, can we?
That brings up Falk, Freddie Falk.
Oh!
Nice play by the first baseman. As the Crush go down, and we will watch the Southside Liquor team come to bat after this. Back to the Chicago Metro Tournament, men's championship 16-inch softball tournament. Mike Lee, the shortstop, Al Hansen, and Mike Lee's brother Randy Lee will be the first three batters. Shot right back to the pitcher. This pitcher for the Crush, we saw in the first game, outstanding. He just caught some line drives that I couldn't even believe any human could catch.
Yeah, I know exactly one of the plays that you're talking about, Brian. It ended one inning, and it really got the Crush psyched up. Just a screamer right at him, and you think about it barehanded, and he went over there and started the clapping going for the rest of the team, and they went out and scored a couple of runs.
Once again, many times you don't expect the Al Hansen, the batter. Many times you don't expect the pitcher to be all that helpful. Hansen slaps one into center field.
That's the way you have to hit them in this game. You got to hit them right, I guess what we were talking about before, right where they're not, and a little bit on the line, and get it over the infielder's head.
That is so important because in softball you can place the ball. Many of these players are that good that they can place the ball where they want. And if you can do that, you're going to get on like Al Hansen did. Randy Lee, the batter. Randy Lee is huge. He is a big guy.
He's not too tall, is he?
The wind is blowing in, so that kind of takes a little bit of his effectiveness away. But that stays fair. Oh, just foul. Again, as I was saying about ability to handle the bat, if you can put it where you want, like Randy Lee just did, and, you know, 5-6 more feet inside to the left, and he's got himself a long hit. Extra bases, definitely. Sends one to left field. High, 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 way up there. Runner's going to tag. Hansen not coming, though. 2 outs now. Randy Lee flies out to left field. That brings up Del Morgan.
Hansen, we're going to keep an eye on him throughout the game. He looks like a very smart base runner. Really heads up if he gets a chance. I'm sure he's going to go any type of base hit. He's going to try to go first to third. So let's keep an eye on him if we get a hit this inning.
Del Morgan again, the batter.
If they hesitate, I think he'll try to score.
So important to have a pitcher that can really get the ball over when you need it, Al, and consistently too.
Yeah, and he's really deceptive. He keeps you looking all the time. He goes from one side of the mound to the other, jumps backwards, and it comes up on top of you, and he just keeps you looking all the time. Nobody gets set in that box.
This Crush team is very much like the Psychos were. They are just a bunch of cheerleaders. Steps on the bag, easy half inning as the Southside Lickers get one hit, but they go down 1-2-3 after that. So no score after the first inning of the men's championship game.
Channel 25 is what Chicago watches for sports.
Field. They are all set. They've got a good pitcher too. I like the pitcher's arm motion for the Southside Lickers. He can fake with the same motion that he pitches with. It just is really hard to figure out when he's throwing the ball. Batter now for the Crush is DeCaro. Goes after a high fastball. I guess you can't throw a fastball in this league. Nothing's a fastball.
As close as we can get to it, right?
Yeah, a flat ball is a fastball, I guess.
It's the real. You were mentioning the pitcher earlier. It's a real art to pitching in this league. Completely different in the style, obviously, of the hardball variety of baseball. But you still have to have a lot of talent. You have to sit back on the ball and spin. And this guy, he's a real character out there on the mound.
Here's the pitcher for the Crush, Balestri. It's Mickey Balestri. Ground ball deep short. Runs it in a little bit. Again, 6-3 put out.
This South, at least at this point, the Southside Liquor team plays with so much confidence in the field. They kind of throw the ball around like it's extension of their self.
Yeah. It's just like,
it's hard to explain.
It's like a golf ball instead of just a big 16-inch. There's John Tito, third baseman, coming up to bat. And John's got a brace on his left knee. And he got on base that I saw in the game before, and they had a pinch runner in there for him. I wonder if he's going to run for himself.
Yeah, I think he went 3 for 3 as a matter of fact, Brian.
Whoa.
He really stepped into that one, didn't he?
He was looking to right field.
Brian, I'd like to talk about something you and I were talking about earlier in the rules of the 16-inch softball, and maybe Al can jump in this situation as we look at the replay. They, in fact, start with the same. They start with one ball. And it flies a lot further in the earlier innings, and as it gets beat up a little bit, it gets a little soft. It's a little bit easier to handle, a little bit harder to hit. And is it true, Al, that the winning team gets to keep the ball?
That's true.
That's a great game.
Throughout the entire city.
Shot up to short center fielder's got it. That's it as they go down 1, 2, 3. The Crush and Southside Liquors are really putting on a show again. And I think we'll see this for maybe one more inning. We're going to see these two teams just go back and forth. And you're going to see some runners really kicking it in as they really starting to think about, hey, this is getting the later innings. Because right now they're feeling each other out. It's like a boxer. You hit it to the positions that you're trying to see. Now let's see if their right fielder's any good. Their third baseman, is he got a good arm? They kind of feel each other out, and then all of a sudden they start picking on someone. They all go after them.
It's a good analogy. As soon as they find a weakness out there, they're going to exploit it.
As we saw in one of the earlier games, it seems the moment you do find a weakness, or the moment that where one player makes an error, it seems like invariably 3 or 4 hits follow it, and you got 2 or 3 runs on the board. And these games are no different than any of the other championship games, at least as far as I see, that it's going to be a low-scoring game that's going to be decided by probably what happens in a single inning.
Curtis Stearns, the batter, is a catcher for Southside Liquors. Washington Park, you after a high fastball off the pitcher, quick throw to first. Oh. Nice play.
Nice recovery. Nice recovery.
Oh.
I tell you, in Curtis's younger days, I don't think he would have been caught.
Perfect example of the pitcher being able to feel the ball. How quickly that ball was hit so hard at him, he couldn't even react after it hit his leg, and then he quickly got over, got the ball, made a great play. Dwayne Spivey, the batter now. And he hits one into left field. And we have the second hit of the game for Southside Liquors.
Talking about in his younger days here, that's a great thing about softball here in the city of Chicago. You see ball players out that are 50, 55 years of age still playing the game.
Larry Washington grounds shortstop quickly over to first. They don't turn the double play. 2 outs now.
I think both teams are starting to find out it's not going to be an easy task at all to score here.
Morris Rupert, the batter now.
I think that wind's going to play a big factor again. It's picking up, and it's going all over the place. It's not just coming in from any one direction. See that ball hook out there into left field?
That's a very good point. That's the way it's kind of blowing. It's blowing from right field to left field, and it's pretty strong. It has picked up since the women's championship game that we saw, and so it's could be a factor. We have seen some balls hanging up there, especially when the wind is blowing in. The ball tends to sit right on top of the air and just float. And maybe we saw a throw libido earlier that kind of hung.
It got a little caught up in the jet stream, and it kind of sailed a bit. And I would think, and Al, maybe you can comment on this, it doesn't seem to be a day that favors the big power hitters. The line drive guys seem to have an advantage in a day like today.
You're absolutely right. It's a guy that's going to be able to push that ball through one of these slots out here, or over the second baseman's head or shortstop's head, that is going to be the deciding factor out here, because the big long ball is going to go nowhere.
Second baseman, if he would have stayed with it, might have had a play at first base. I was kind of surprised.
He gave up on it early.
Yeah. Morris Rupert singling there. Mike Coleman now the batter. Let's take another look at that one.
Let's see if the shift goes on for this left-handed hitter.
If he knocks it down, if he makes a quick throw, he's got to play it first. It's our first lefty of the game.
See that ball come back?
Yeah, he just hangs up there. Well, 1 hit, 2 hits for the Southside Lickers, but no runs, no score still. We'll be back. Mound with the pitcher for the Southside Lickers guys. Lucenti, the batter. Sam Lucenti will start it all off. Sam playing left field today. Followed by Stewart and Mike Fergoli. Both teams making a lot of noise. And many times you see, since the pace is so fast of a ball game, you see a lot of guys going after that first or second pitch, not really waiting. But as I just said, that Sam decides to take his time and watch a couple pitches.
As the innings wear on, they're going to get anxious. There's no two ways about it. I think the psychological game is starting to be played there, too. There's a lot of chatter going on out there on both sides, and that meeting on the mound.
A little psych up probably for the Southside Lickers there. A little chat out there, the defensive alignment, how they're setting up.
Yes, I'm sure the Crush would like to see a base runner about this time.
Shot. Hanger to center field. Cindy goes down.
He was shaking his head at the first base coach, and I think he realized that may not have been a strike. He took a lot of balls up till that point. He got a little anxious, as Al was saying, on that last pitch.
That wasn't his pitch, I don't think either, probably.
It's kind of odd because he took so many balls up to that point.
Now, explain to me, some teams have 11 hitters, you have 10 players in the field, but you have 11 hitters. What's the...
Well, they come in with a designated hitter. That rule is in some of the leagues in the Park District, but it's not something that is being used all the way around the city.
Or something that should be encouraged. Brian and I talk about the designated hitter all the time, Al.
Dave Stewart grounds out. Shortstop has had a lot of action today for Southside Lickers.
It's a pleasure to see two teams like this here. At one time, the dominance of a team like the Bobcats just almost took it away from you when you got into the championship game. And these two teams are evenly matched, and so were the semifinal games out here this morning. So it's a pleasure to watch two teams like this.
Mike Fergoli, the second baseman, goes right down at the third baseman. Quick throw over to first. Nice catch by the first baseman. So in the inning, we have no hits, no runs, and we still have a 0-0 ball game, and nobody getting past first base so far. As you can see, Southside Lickers throwing a no-hitter so far. Actually, excuse me, he's got a 1 hit. Tom Duddleston for the Crush had gotten 1 hit. Well, coming this fall, we've got a lot of sports action on Channel 25, and Levito, you're going to be involved with that, I know, and a lot of high school football for you fans out there.
Yeah, Brian, I was going to say, yeah, I love baseball, and I have a real passion for the game at a major league and at the major league level and softball, but my first love is football. The football season is slowly coming upon us, and we're really excited about the fall lineup that we're going to have at WCW. Some of the best talent in the city of Chicago, some of the best teams, and we'll be covering them all fall long, all the way up to I would imagine the tournament play. And we're really going to look forward to some of the games that you're going to bring, and in the weeks to come we'll let our viewing audience at home know more about that.
Cedric Walls, the batter. Can't wait for that. Coming up this fall. High school sports at its best. A lot of folks, you can't get high school sports anywhere else but on Channel 25. Ground ball, shortstop, short center actually has a little trouble bobbling it. And once again, we see an error that could possibly turn into something.
If he'd have gave that a kick, I think he'd have got him at first base.
Would that have been legal?
Oh, certainly.
Okay,
certainly.
Just checking.
Puts that ball in the first baseman's hands is legal.
It's our first error of the ball game. Given E10. short center. Tries to knock it down. Left fielder going a long way. That thing was up there for quite a while, but not long enough. It's the batter now. Mike Lee playing shortstop. He's had a lot of action there so far.
In a game like this, these coaches hate to see the ball in the air. They like to see the low line drives, put it on the ground, make the infielders make a play on the ball. When you get the infielders start picking the ball up, anything can happen, as we saw on the earlier play.
Oh, the girls' championship game, it was the power hitters versus the single hitters, and the Psychos hitting those singles won the ball game. Shot, going to go for a double play, quickly over to first, and he got knocked down and taken out of that play. So safe at first.
And the shortstop is saying, hey, get that ball to me sooner.
Exactly.
I don't want to get wiped out.
That was a slow pitch, too, or a slow flip. Could have been a little bit more. See, it kind of hung there.
And he almost put him in jeopardy putting it there, too.
Yeah. He almost ended up in right to left field, actually. So 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first, or third.
It goes so quickly, doesn't it, Brian?
Al Hansen, the batter. That's going to fall in there for a single. Quickly gets it into second base. Now we have a first-third situation.
That's Al Hansen's second hit of the day. Seems to be a good young player.
He knows where to put it.
Yeah. Watch for Al Hansen to go into the second base strong if there's any play there.
Just like the last time, too. Just like it. Low, it hangs, but it gets down in time. Randy Lee comes to the plate now. Randy, big hitter. And again, he can handle the bat. You saw him try to go to right, ended up crushing it to left.
Brian, you were really impressed by Randy Lee in the semifinal, weren't you?
Yeah, I had a chance to run down there and watch him a little bit, and he had a ground ball that just about took a guy's leg off.
He had no choice but to make a stop on it.
He couldn't get his leg out of the way in time. He is a big guy. And again, if he gets it on the ground, it's going to be hard to handle.
That was on the inside corner.
Do you think that was a strike?
Yeah.
You can hear the umpire from here. I like that. High shot. That's going to score a runner. He's got it. Nice throw into second base to keep Al Hansen from going to second, but the runner Mike Lee comes across, and we've got a 1-0 ball game in favor of Southside Liquor. RBI for Randy Lee.
Again, Al Hansen, ever the opportunist, trying to advance to second base. He's really making the crush. Keep an eye on him and play heads-up baseball.
So what you have to do, you can't let the folks out there forget you're there, because you want to make them make some bad plays. Ground ball shortstop all the way over. Got him. Del Morgan grounds out to the shortstop. 1 run comes across for the Southside Liquors, and they've got a 1-0 lead. That's flip-flop there, folks. 1-0 Southside Liquors.
Coming this fall to ESPN.
As you can see, we got that flip-flop. Southside Liquors with 2 hits, 1 run. The Crush, 1 hit, 1 error. No runs yet as they come up in the top of the 4th. And they will lead it off with Ron Frigoli. Ron is the short center fielder. There's only 10 spots on my sheet and 11 batters. It makes it a little bit tricky to try and figure out
who's who, right?
Yeah. So Ron doesn't get a slot, so I'm just going to have to write it down somewhere. Nice shot. Perfect shot. They're going to go for... Oh! Al Hansen almost went for him at first base. First baseman wasn't heads up and didn't expect the throw. Watch this, as we might be able to
And
see.
he had a chance.
Let's see, yeah, let's see the runner. You can see the runner at the bottom of your screen, and Al Hansen's getting ready to crank it up, and he, whoop, says, no, I'm not going to be able to get him because my buddy at first isn't ready for me. Now it brings up the top of the order. The catcher, Mark Munzizi. Or Manizzi. Double play possibility. They got him. Wow. What a play. Boom, boom.
Al saw that one too. You're gonna start calling you Eagle Eye, Al, because you called that one. Then I heard a fan behind said the same thing. Yep, you're right. He was off the base. He was high on that.
First baseman is pulling his. You're right. A good point. He is pulling that leg up like a pro baseball player.
Let's see if we can catch it right on the tail end here. It's so close. I don't know if we can.
That's tough. That is a close call, but the umpires on every base, their job to watch it. Shot down to third base off his hands, and there's going to be no play as Ken Metke gets on by an ear by the third baseman. That brings up Tom Duddleston. Watch as he really creamed it down the third base line. He just tried to slap it down, and many times if you do slap it down, you've got a chance.
This kid pokes the ball real well, and as you said, he got a hit the last time up.
And if this guy gets a hit, makes that play at first base, the previous play, so much bigger.
Yeah, because now either you got a run or you're certainly in contention for a run, and you only got one out.
2 outs.
So you would have had it.
Yeah, you would have been right. I see what you mean. Try to do my bookkeeping here as well. Shot down the third baseman.
Nice hands.
Yes.
Got to be awake down there. That's the hot spot.
I think he had no choice in that situation. He had to catch it.
Duddleston, again, they're looking at that third baseman. Again, you look for any possibility that you can get the other team at a disadvantage. And that's exactly what they were shooting for. They saw the third baseman knock that one down. Maybe he doesn't have good hands, so let's go right back at him. Duddleston sees that. He's got good hands. He found out.
So we go to someone else.
That's right. Where to go to next? He's got.
I think we have, well, it's not football. We don't have halftime intermission entertainment here.
It's the local Earl Clue. He is the jazz guitarist for this park, probably.
Or he could be left over from the Taste.
Could be
left over,
entertainment
there.
left over from the Madonna concert.
Yeah, a lot of people out here last night for Madonna, didn't we? My God, they were everywhere.
In fact, there's still a few people sleeping out here who really enjoyed the concert. Well, Curtis Dern's the batter. Curtis the catcher. I like Curtis. He reminds me of No-Neck Williams, number 3 for the White Sox. Remember him? Played right field for him for many, many years. No-Neck Derns. Tries to slap that one down. It may fall. It will. Shortstop, though, I mean, nice job hustling out there.
Guess you can't place it any better than that.
And the wind had a lot to do with that one, too. You see it drive that ball down quick?
It really did. Yeah, that's a good point. It really just slapped the ball down. Bottom of the 4th now, Dwayne Spivey, the batter.
Dwayne, the very capable pitcher of the Southside Liquor team.
It's one of those tall, lanky pitchers, you know. Goes to right field with it. Right fielder, he's got it.
Nice hands.
In that situation, easy time for Curtis Derns to move on over to second base.
That was a good heads-up play by Curtis Stearns to advance on that ball. He saw the opportunity. You can see him at the bottom of the screen. He saw the opportunity to advance. He tagged up, and he was on his way the moment the ball was caught.
That was way out of play. I mean, way foul territory as well.
Good play, too, because the momentum of the outfielder was taking him away from the play, and he would have had to have one heck of an arm to have any chance at all of throwing Curtis out.
Larry Washington. They look him back. Nice job by Duddleston to look back. Stearns at second, and now they're 2 outs.
You wouldn't think Duddleston can move that ball across the infield the way he does. He throws in a sidearm sort of motion there.
He shuffles his feet really quick, too, Al, which is really good. I mean, that gets the ball out of your hands quicker if you get your feet set quickly. Morris Rupert now the batter. Morris sends one deep to left field, but he's under it. Well, after a single by Curtis Stearns, 3 up, 3 down after that. 1-0 still, Southside Liquors lead Crush. Freddie Falk steps to the plate. Joe DeCaro and the pitcher, Mickey Balestri, will be the 3 batters this inning. Balestri, by the way, is the team captain for the Crush and for the Southside. Let's see who Southside Liquors captain is. Claude Rhodes. Big motion by the pitcher, Southside Liquors. Some big guys on Southside Liquors as well. Got some big, bulky guys.
Cover a lot of area.
Cover a lot of area.
Without moving a lot, right?
And also have arms that can just,
really whip that ball.
Freddie Falk grounded out the first baseman in the first inning, playing catcher today.
We're halfway home, and like you said at the beginning of the game, this was going to be a close one, and it is 1-0. Better start generating something out there now if they're going to be able to do anything at all.
That's a good point. I heard some of the guys chanting, let's hit through the order this time. Freddie Falk watches the ball and does a nice job. That's what it takes for that leadoff hitter at the top of the inning. Keep an eye on that ball and make sure they're good. Joe DeCaro comes to the plate now.
Well, I was just going to say, without a doubt, that's it. That's what he had in his mind when he went to the plate. He wanted to get a base on balls.
They're making the pitcher really throw strikes. Without a doubt, they want to make him, putting him on the spot. Shot could be 2. No, he fumbles the ball. Ouch. That hurts. It's the first error for them.
That may be the crack that the Crush needed.
That's called making the play before you got the ball.
That's right.
He's the short center fielder. So both short center fielders have made an error for each team. And we have a first and second situation, nobody out, and Mick Balestri the batter.
Well, this is a big at-bat for the Crush.
They're really pumped up, too. You can hear them cheering and making a lot of noise. They're fans.
They really need to advance the runners on this time at bat.
And I think they get the right guy up there. I think in the first game, if you remember, this guy pumped 2 out into right field and could hit very well behind the runners.
That's what it really takes. You've got to hit behind the runners in this situation. And when you do have a good guy, perfect situation, he's looking to left field. I'm going to bet he goes to right center. And he went way right. Right fielder's underneath it. Both runners will move up 60 feet. And now all it takes is any kind of hit to get him in.
Okay, here's a question for you, Al. In a situation like that, do you let the ball drop? It's in foul territory. It's going to be hard to make a play on the 2 runners advancing, or do you do what he did, catch the ball?
Well, I think you always have to go for the out. I think I might have tried for an field play there at first base, though. I think he left a little early, but that was only my opinion.
That's a good point. Good. Again, eagle eye. Now Fitch. Because I wasn't really sure if I did see that or not. John Tito, the batter. John at third base today. John hits the right up the middle last time up. No-Neck Stearns heads out to the mound to chat with his pitcher, settle him down a little bit, just tells him to throw some strikes because they're just waiting on him, waiting for 2 strikes before they even start thinking about swinging. That's a nice pitch, strike 1. It's a big batter.
I think John knew that. He was looking all the way that time.
Yeah. And if John hits a single here, that's 2 runs. That's a good pitch. Shot. That could score 2. We may have a play at the plate. And they're not going to throw home. But he throws.
That was a bad call at third base as far as I'm concerned. He should have sent him down.
Left fielder kind of held up and threw to the pitcher's mound, trying to get the guy to go to second. Third base coach held up the runner at third, and he came home easily. 2-1 now in favor of the Crush as they go ahead.
Well, you're right. They were lucky to get that run, but all the way, both runners should have scored on that play.
Now watch as he throws. Now look, he held him up, and the left fielder was conceding the run at that point. He was going to throw it just to the pitcher to keep the guy from going to second. Sam Lucenti, the batter. Sam flew out to center field his first time up. That flat pitch, good shot. All the way over, he's got it. All the way back to first base, he's back. Oh!
Oh, boy. See that?
Whoa! I don't think so. That one might have been even easier than the girls' game. There was a cloud of dust on that one, but I really think he might have been in there.
And a Heidi Hi-O Silver, he was safe.
Al Fitch, I believe Al Fitch's eyes too. Let's see it. Wow, that was close. That was closer than I thought, but our director says he was out.
I don't know. I have to go along with Al. I think he was in.
Let's see it. Let's see it again.
He got in under there.
Let's watch. Say
he's in.
Ball now. Ball, yeah, he was in there. Ball was in his hands late. They're going to go.
Okay, we're going to see it one more time on the replay.
I'll shout ball when it hits his hands. I'll shout ball. You tell me where the runner is. It is.
Runner's in now.
Ball.
Runs in. Sure he is. You can't see through the cloud there, Mike.
Too much dust for somebody to call that one.
We're going to say the umpire was on top of it, and he made a fair assessment of the situation. But he was safe.
Very good. And it's always what the umpire says, no matter what we say.
That's right. Well, we move to the bottom of 5.
But we also have to comment on the south side liquor side of the play. That was a heck of a play. You think about it, it was a relay.
Oh, it sure was.
That's exactly it. I mean, it was a smart heads-up play. They saw the runner was way off the bag and went after him.
The runner, the second baseman caught the ball and in one motion just turned and threw it to first base.
Threw a nice strike and a nice stretch.
That center fielder ran a country mile to get his hands on that ball.
Yeah.
Mike Coleman, the batter. Trying to go inside out there, trying to send it to left field. In softball, that's what they call going the opposite field. They call it inside out. Coleman back to the pitcher, flips it over to first. They got him.
That's from the earlier game. That's how this Crush team plays. They get you give them an inch, and they're going to hold on to this lead for dear life. They don't make many mistakes. It's going to be hard for the Southside Liquor team to score another run.
They're going to have to hope for errors, and that's like any ball game, any good team, you got to make them make errors.
Well, they both got excellent ball clubs. There's no two ways about it. And anything could break this one loose out here.
We've had an error by each team. Slaps it to center field deep. As Cedric Walls goes down. Brings up the top of the order in Mike Lee.
Cedric Walls did everything right on that play except he hit it right at the man. It's a line drive, line shot. And it's hard to find those gaps because they aren't that big.
That's true, Levito. That thing had it just about 6 foot more on it. It would have went through between the right field and the center fielder.
If you had a little wind behind him, it would have gone over his head, too. Because the outfielders are allowed the luxury of playing in maybe about 5 or 6 steps more than usual. Shot. There's a single for Mike Lee. 2 outs, and Al Hansen, the batter. Al, 2 for 2. They want to keep something going. This is the guy you want up. 2-1 in favor of the Bridgeport Crush.
There isn't a way to play this guy because he just sprays the ball all over the place. The left-hander that you would think would be going into right field or somewhere around that area, but he also goes the opposite way over to the left field line.
Everybody on their toes for Hansen here. Quick throw down to first.
With there being 2 outs, the runner at first base has the advantage of going at the crack of the bat. He doesn't have to worry about being doubled also. If Al gets an extra base hit, it means a run in this situation, without a doubt.
Al trying to go.
You see that foot go behind him. You know he's going to left field, but
exactly.
It just kicks that left foot back there, and he's coming right off down to the left field line. I think there's a little bit too much wind out there for what he's trying to do.
Right. He's going to have to put it almost straight, aim for straight left field, and it'll land in the line possibly. And again, with that runner on first base, you've got to be aware because you've got to kind of play your batter. If it looks like the batter's going to go after that pitch, you can start running. But if that batter does look like he's going to hit and doesn't, you're in trouble. You're way off the bag. Teammates being able to read each other.
It's a good point, Brian. That's why he almost has to wait until he can start moving.
It'll slap once again, but the center fielder knows that act, and he played it nicely. Al Hansen flies out to center. We'll be back after this. Welcome back as the Southside Liquors take the field, and they are down 2-1 to the Bridgeport Crush. The Crush leads it off with Dave Stewart. He is their extra hitter, or EH, not a DH. Levito, how do you feel about the EH?
Now, the EH is something totally. I don't have an opinion on that yet. That one caught me by surprise. Did that hit catch the Southside Liquor team by surprise?
It did. He went after that first pitch. Quickly gets on base, and he will have a extra runner. Pinch runner comes in for him. Mike Frugoli, the batter. Mike last time up grounded out to the second baseman. They'll really trying to determine who made last out so they can determine the runner.
You know what I noticed out here, Brian, is there are very few pickoff plays at any one of the bases, and in all of the games we've seen thus far, there hasn't been one pickoff play at any one of the bases, and that's surprising because that used to be an integral part of the ballgame.
That's a very good point. You're not even holding them on, even. Yes. Mike Frugoli right down, hits the bag, off the bag, and is going to be on for a single. Oh, the luck of Bridgeport is on the side of their side.
It's
hitting
smiling
the
on
bag.
him today.
Watch this, Mike Frugoli right down third base. Third baseman sets up to make the play, and it hits the bag, and there's not much you can do after that. It just handcuffs you.
I don't know. I think he should have had it.
Brings up Ron Frugoli.
There's nothing you can do in a situation like that. The ball, he did a good job just staying with it once it did bound up.
That's for sure. That could have wound up out in left field.
Yeah. Not allowing the runner to advance an extra base.
You can have a pinch hitter for Ron Frugoli. Number 15, I'm not sure who he is. Won't get his name on TV, but
he'll get his face on TV.
That's right.
Oh, this is the insurance run that they talk about so much. They'd love to get that runner in from second base.
In any championship, you want to get a whole bunch of insurance runs. You know, you always want a lot more than you really expect, especially against a good team like Southside Liquors. Southside Liquors from Washington Park. No. What? Brings the top of the order up now. Mark Manizzi, the batter. Mark, the catcher, as you can see, he's grounded out twice. Right down the line, hits the line. It hit the line. It is a fair ball. One run is in, another run coming home. It's going to be in there. 4-1.
Perfect hit.
Plus, I think if you look in the replay, I think you'll see the third baseman just tipped that ball.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, Alan. Once he touched it, it was academic at that point. It was a hit.
And we're going to take a look at it. Watch how he knocked the ball down. Tried to keep it down.
It's really hard to tell from that replay.
It was really moving, too. Hit the line perfectly. Couldn't ask for a more perfect hit. Both runners come in. And Manizzi is on second base. Give him a double. And we're trying to find out injury out there in left field. Left fielder might have pulled a muscle going for that, trying to stop quickly and making the throw. When you're just using all arm in that situation, you can really hurt yourself. That's true. The championships, though, I don't know if he's going to come out of the ball game. Walking it off. Let's take a look at, maybe we can see what he did. Actually, that's the third baseman. The third baseman on the jump might have hurt himself. I thought it was a left fielder. Sorry about that, folks.
I still think that third baseman tipped the ball going out there because it looked like it misdirected after it went over the tip of his fingers there.
Yeah, I think you're right, Al. We saw some officiating by the shortstop, too, trying to influence the...
Ken Metke sends one deep right field, way back. He's got it. The runner tags. Let's see if he attempts coming home. So, 2 outs now. And that brings up Tom Duddleston. Tom, last time up, got on by a hard shot down the third base line. Your shortstop, always one of those consistent players. You can always expect to get you a hit, make a big play, whatever it takes.
Yeah, if we had an MVP out here, I would think that Duddleston would be in consideration, that's for sure.
That's a deep fly ball, and it's going to be an easy catch for the left fielder. But 2 more runs for the Crush. They lead it now 4-1. Welcome back as the Crush is all fired up with a 4-1 lead. That is really, really important in this ball game. You put together a lead like that, you play some good defense, which they have been doing.
And it's all over.
That's right.
And if you're a Southside Liquor, this is the inning you'd like to get a run or 2 back. You really don't want to go into the bottom of the 7th inning down by 2 runs. I mean, down by 3.
Not a bad that guy to lead it off either. Randy Lee flown out to center and flown out to left. He's not going to stay hitless, I have a feeling. He gets one down and hard. They're going to wait. I have a feeling the Southside Liquors is going to wait on pitcher and decide to take until they get 2 strikes on him. Especially the first batter in the inning. Shot, shortstop, Duddleston. I told you, if he gets a hold of it on the ground, he'll put you right through you. Duddleston didn't even get a chance to put it on his, get even close. Watch, he just creams the ball. Watch Duddleston. Watch his reaction. He's got his hands out there, and it was like his hands weren't even there. That brings up Del Morgan, third baseman. Del might have had that old muscle. In the last inning, you can see he's kind of in pain or trying to stretch it out, whichever.
He seems to be favoring that side somewhat.
Balestri trying to get that ball over. Getting those 2 quick strikes on him because he knows they're waiting on him. Nice pitch. 1-1.
As in the drive, he would go behind the runner. He was aiming for right field all the way.
He watched his little dance step there. His feet were starting to turn to right field as he was heading. A lot of players will walk up, take a step, step and a half, 2 steps before they hit the ball. And that gives him a little extra power behind it. He will go actually straight center end up that quick bat. Randy Lee just decided to wait and see if he was going to drop the ball. As Morgan flies out to center field now. 1 out, and that brings up Curtis No-Neck Derns.
Well, we got an opportunity, Brian. I'd like to give a little plug to Buddy Haynes, the supervisor here at Grant Park, for the condition of the ball fields and taking care of the tournaments over here.
Nice double play!
Very nice. Very well done.
John Tito hustling in on that little blooper. Great job. Watch Derns. He slaps at it, and he gets a lot of backspin on it, like almost a tennis shot. Tito clutches the ball and makes a quick throw. Randy Lee knew he was out, too.
One motion. Excellent.
He was out by 2-3 steps easily. You can see the crush now. 4-1, still leading it. Each team with an error. The crush, 2 more hits in. Did a nice job. Now let's give a pat on the back to our umpire behind the plate, who has been doing a nice job for us today.
Yeah, I think all of the umpires here in all of the games that have been played thus far have been doing a grand job, except for the guy at first base where Mike Lear still says that the man was safe, or whether it was out, rather.
Oh, that one will go on forever, folks.
I would like to pay a little credit to Tim Sarnecki, too. He's the citywide softball chairman and directly responsible for putting together the tournament out here last week and this week with the championship games.
Pretty fault the matter. Dal, you're right. There are so many people that have got to get their heads together to put together this tournament. And once again, the Park District, some outstanding people working for them, putting together another great tournament, and Channel 25 WCW is happy to bring it to you.
Yeah, and we certainly thank you people for that. It's been another avenue for us, and it's just been decidedly a pleasure to have these films available, both for spectator viewing and also to utilize for team play and the rest of it.
Shot to right field by DeCaro. High fly ball. They're going to tag, throw. Here goes the play at second. Nice throw, nice tag. He's out of there.
Boy.
What a throw and what a play. A great tag, great throw.
Was he out that time? so many close plays today. It's amazing. He did what I would have done. I think a ball driven that deep, you have to try to go to second, and I'm sure he wasn't expecting that.
Larry Washington with the ball. Perfect throw.
Just lay the ball down there and just let him slide right into it.
Perfect throw, perfect tag. Mick Balestri, the batter, as well as the pitcher. Let's give Randy Lee's shortstop.
They catch up to that.
Oh, almost got that one. Let's see, I think that was either Randy Lee or the short center fielder. Who's that? I think it's Morris Rupert who might have made that tag. Either one, boy, it was just a great, nice job. When you see guys like that, communication, the throw, everything is put perfectly together. That's a great baseball play.
That was perfectly executed, you're right.
That's fun softball, baseball, call it what you want. Nick's flown out to right. Randy Lee over to first. They got him. 3 up, 3 down. As the Crush from Bridgeport continue to lead up 4-1. We'll be back. And welcome back. As you can see, I'm Brian Hanrahan in the middle, Al Fish, Levito Squalls, and we are having a great time here at Grant Park. A beautiful day. It has cooled off a little bit. The breeze off the lake has really made it nice. And Southside Liquors, they got to put something together here, folks, because this is it. Bottom of 7. And Dwayne Spivey, the pitcher, will lead it off. All the excitement of the last inning. Can the defense hold them? Can the other team get hits? And that's what they need to do. Start it all off.
Well, that's how you want to start it off if you're playing for Southside Liquor. Again, those 2 runs in the, I believe in the 5th inning are so important because now you don't have to play as competitive if you're the Crush team. You can play a little bit more comfortable knowing that you can give up 2 runs before you have anything to worry about.
Larry Washington, the batter. Larry, who had made that great throw out in right field. They're waiting for 2 strikes. Spivey on first. Washington. Again, you can see that it looks like the ball's not going very far and it's got a lot of spin on it. That's because they're trying to knock the ball down. They're trying to keep it in play and low, but line drives. And these guys have mastered it, really.
And both of these pitchers are spinning that ball like nobody's business when it's coming in there. When you make contact, you better make contact clear and direct. Otherwise, it's going to pop up on you.
Some of the fans enjoying the day here. Quite a few people coming out here for the championship men's and women's softball here at Grant Park. Washington slaps one left field, line drive, he's got it. Quick throw back in. 1 out. Brings up Morris Rupert to put the tag down on the play. Again, as we were
right on the money.
Talking about that slapping, he was trying to take a high pitch and slap it down. Doesn't work sometimes. Probably would have worked if the wind wasn't blowing as hard as it is. Morris waiting on it.
They're trying to get base runners, and I think they're going to hit their way on. I think they're going to have to.
Can't put that ball in the air on that, man.
2 outs.
That's a store out there in left field. You just don't put that any place out there that he doesn't get his hands on it. I don't think he's missed a ball in any one of the 2 games we've watched thus far.
No, you're right. I saw him in the first game. He made great plays out there in left field. So you're right. You're hitting it at the wrong person if you're trying to get the ball out.
Look at the Crush there. Teammates and fans on the sidelines are really whooping it up. Mike Coleman, the batter, last chance here to keep the game going. 2 outs, 4-1, Crush.
Here, Tim Zarnecki announced that on September the 6th that all of these teams are going to be feted at Cubs Park for the ring ceremony for Budweiser.
Deep fly ball to right field. This could be it. And a ball game. Bridgeport Crush wins the men's softball championship in the city of Chicago. Celebration in right field. Pandemonium in right field.
Pandemonium in right field. I believe a gentleman with the Detroit Tigers cap caught that final pitch there. I put that in just for our director, Mike Lear.
Ken Metke caught in the final out. Two teams showing great sportsmanship once again. Both teams going down the line, congratulating one another. The Crush, as you can see, 4-1, 6 hits. Let's take another look at that final out. The right fielder, Metke, just squeezes that ball. Everybody heads to right field for the celebration. Wow, what a great game, and congratulations to the Crush. The Southside Liquor team has nothing to be ashamed of. They played a great ball game, too. We'll be back with a wrap-up after this.
Bears and special events programming. State Representative John Cullerton goes after the answers with Illinois.
The final score, 4-1 in favor of the Bridgeport Crush. An outstanding ball game by both teams. Just a super game. We really had enjoyed it. And again, Levito, as expected, both teams. The Crusher behind us spraying each other in congratulations. Super ball game.
Yeah, it was a super ball game. Both games, the earlier game, we didn't get a chance to see the men's game and the women's game that we did televise earlier today. Both very close games, very well played, and came down to one error, just an small opening, open up a floodgate, 2 or 3 runs, and that was the ball game.
Well, you wish there could be 4 champions, but unfortunately only 2 get to be champions. The 2 runners-up have nothing to be ashamed of. They played a good ball game as well. Fans enjoying the ball game as well. And any final thoughts?
Final thoughts, yes, some final thoughts about WCW in general. In the fall, we will be doing a lot of football and a lot of other sports coming your way, and this is the only place you can get this type of sporting coverage. So I guess that's my final thought for the day.
You're right. Not only great Park District action, but also great high school sports coming up this fall. Not too far away either, folks, so stay tuned to Channel 25. Thanks again, Levito. Thanks to Al Fitch, who helped us out here also. I'm Brian Hanrahan. So long.